Welcome to a game between RiposteR here in blue, starting with a Recon Commander and a Cloaky bot factory. And Jill is starting also with a Recon Commander and a Cloakbot factory. So Jill requested this replayed and she wondered what to do in this mirror matchup and wondered if she could have put out a win here. She also wanted to know about factory queues and stuff like that, and when to switch into other units on this map. This map is a big map, so yeah, you probably want to build a lot of raiders on this map because there's a lot of open ground to cover. So yeah, you want to cover a lot of open ground, and raiders are good for that. About your build queue here, do you have your energy on high priority? You're choosing to go to the middle of the map. That's a choice. RiposteR is being a bit ahead of you here, and he's going to get these mexes quite a bit before you do. And while you have a skirmish here, you get one kill. That's nice. Oh yeah, so that's nice. And then you get lose that one, lose those two. You bunch up a bit, but yeah, you probably want to expand a little bit faster. It can be a bit unsafe. The enemy could come with raiders here, and it's hard to get a raider in a good position here. You choose to not go for this mix. I mean, you could have taken that on the way, I think. So you're gonna be a little bit behind in economy. RiposteR is being pretty safe here, trying to get these mixes. He's getting RiposteRs in good positions and has radars, so he sees incoming units in the middle here. And here you get a nice pincer movement. You jump in with the commander. 5 glaives, that's pretty safe to jump in, especially if you have nearby glaives. And yeah, you kill a lot of them, and now you're ahead in the value kill, so that was nicely done. Meanwhile, you have a decent energy income, yeah, and it's starting to get time to build more production at your base, probably. But yeah, you're still a bit behind in economy here. And you choose to go for production here, but you are expanding here. So yeah, these Ronins are pretty early. I'm not sure exactly what you would push with these Ronins. Like, Ronins are pretty fast with 84 speeds, but they're bad against glaives, so if they get catch in a bad position by glaives are gonna counter them. So I'm not sure why you would build Ronins this early. If you expect to meet the enemy commander in the middle, for example, but you have been scouting around, so you probably should have seen it coming. If you expect to meet like the enemy commander in the middle, then Ronins can be pretty good to take out, to counter the enemy RiposteRs and stuff like that, and push with your own commander. But otherwise, I'd recommend staying on basically raiders for all of the early to mid game on this map, because yeah, Ronins are fast, but still, glaives counter Ronins, so yeah, it's only if you want to push a position that you really want to make Ronins in a situation like this, and at this point you don't really know any position you want to push against with Ronins here. Yeah, so we'll look here at metal produce. Yeah, RiposteR is getting a bit ahead, but RiposteR is also stalling on energy now. So yeah, RiposteR kind of failed on economy there, so that's lucky for you. So in metal use, you're gonna actually get ahead of RiposteR, because yeah, you build more wind on a better position, and yeah, you're doing fine. So yeah. Yes, securing this position with a RiposteR is nice. Then the glaives have to run uphill, and it gives them more time. RiposteR trying to be sneaky here and get a mix. Will he get it? Yeah, he gets it just in the nick of time. That's pretty good by him. And you choose to go for a stinger here. I mean, holding a stinger here is decent. It prevents the enemy from pushing this position. But yeah, the enemy can make slings, and if they make like one sling, is gonna take a long time, especially if you repair it. It's gonna take a long time to get down the stinger, but yeah, a few Lotus turret would probably pretty much do the same thing on a position like this. So Yeah, Stinger feels a bit overkill, but if you keep your glaives here and raid these positions, it could be a good ground to hold. Meanwhile, you go for the commander here. This is enough glaives to get the commander, but your micro is bad. This is a ridge, a hill. I think you could have gotten this commander if you had just bunched up your units and ran. Oh well, not he had machine gun. Yeah, he morphed machine gun, so that makes it harder to get that thing. So yeah, that was a bit of a mixed micro. Not realizing that this was a ridge and having your units run back and forth. You could probably kill that commander if you had not done that. We get some raiding here, that's good. So yeah, what would I do rather? Like, when would you go for a slower army in this Cloaky bot matchup? Romans are decent at pushing defenses. Reavers can pose a threat to glaives. But yeah, you probably want to go for an air switch on this map actually. If you get like most of the Cloaky bot's units are susceptible to napalm bombers, so and if the enemy makes a slow army, you can even use a Thunderbird against it and disarm it and then run into glaives. So on a big map like this map is only 12 by 12, but it's diagonal starting position, so it makes a map basically bigger here. So yeah, I don't think you want to go for a slow army on a like before the enemy reaches the enemy position. They're gonna spend such a long time, and knights can be countered by glaives. The Reavers, yeah, I mean they're decent against glaives, but they can also they don't struggle with Lotus turrets. So if the enemy has a position on this like this with several Lotus turrets, yeah, they're gonna see the Reavers coming, probably build more defenses. Yeah. I think it's questionable in this mirror matchup. You probably just want to go for airplanes and make napalm bombers. If you look at RiposteR's composition, he basically only made glaives and some ticks to protect some choke points here, and that keeps his expansion pretty safe. It's risky to go for attacks. If you go in there and try to kill stuff, you get this imp and you might lose a lot of glaives, and you can reinforce with your own glaives at the right position. So yeah, these 3 slings are gonna be able to bring down the Stinger, and since you don't have map presence here, if you had glaives running around all the place, yeah, you could keep the Stinger alive. But now that you don't have Raider supremacy or even parity in Raiders here, you're gonna struggle to actually keep this Stinger alive. You could do fun stuff, like trying to make a ridge in front of it just to keep it alive. Could be something worth doing, but yeah, that 4-voice Stinger is not gonna pay off. Meanwhile, the enemy is surrounding your knights with glaives, so yeah, glaives can counter knights if they get them out of position. For value, probably not, but I mean, if you outmaneuver the knight and over with a large number of glaives, you can easily kill a glaive without taking too many losses. So yeah, they lose the Stinger. And yeah, you're just chasing his Raider while you're behind an economy here. Yeah, you had the RiposteR underbuilt energy and got low energy because of low wind, but now RiposteR is pulling way ahead, killing more value with his glaives, and your army is just going around chasing nothing, chasing glaives and stuff like that. Because yeah, before this army will make value, you have to push these positions, and look how much defenses RiposteR has made here. This is gonna be hard to break for your army here. And yeah, RiposteR can even build more defenses, or when he sees your army coming, and he can send in glaives. Yeah, so that's why you probably don't want to go for a slow army on this map, in this mirror matchup, and just go straight ahead to get an airplane plant and start producing napalm bombers and bombing glaives, bombing slower armies like Ronins and slings. Yeah. Or disarming the Thunderbird. If you an army like this would be easy to Thunderbird, and then just running with glaives, kill the Reaver and the Knights. So yeah, the composition would vary on a smaller map where it's more tightly contested, but on an open map like this, yeah, you don't really. Yeah, I'd suggest going for an airplane plant much earlier. A few Ronins can be nice to help push against enemy commander or like against base position and defenses like that. But yeah, pushing all the way across this map and holding position like this, yeah, you can build a few Lotus turrets, but if you want to keep it, you have to like reinforce it or have like Raider supremacy and stuff like that. Yeah. Even this position, like, yeah, you have one. Yeah, this is still mostly glaives, and you have one rear and one knight, and you're being chased off by these units, by these glaives. And the commander has built like 4 Lotus turrets, so it's not easy to push in like with just a few knights and reavers against this. Yeah. Yeah. What else is there? Do you put your expansion high priority? I don't think you do, and not low priority. I generally suggest putting expansion on high priority, like you don't seem to be putting anything on high priority now, and nothing on low priority. So yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, your slow army has finally reached your base, and now the enemy can just counter with their own slow armies, so you don't gain much by going that, kind of. Going in for Conjure can kind of surprise your opponent if you catch them off guard, but it still takes a long time to close the map. And yeah, now RiposteR has gone for air and can napalm bomb your Ronins, and Ronins become... I mean, they don't have much HP, so they're pretty easy to kill with napalm bombers, so... Yeah, if you go for a big mass army with Ronins and glaives early, yeah, Firebird will counter that, Phoenix I mean. And if you go for a slow army, yeah, like a few Reavers and Knights, yeah, then a Thunderbird can counter that. It would only be like once both players have like air units and some AA that you could kind of consider making slow armors and pushing with that. So yeah. So yeah, if we look at attrition here, you killed some more in the initial value, but then you get, I think you just get kind of outrated. Yeah, basically got outrated by RiposteR because yeah, you made some Ronins and your ticks didn't land, and you tried to snipe the commander but failed. I think you could have sniped that commander if you just noticed this little bridge. Commander might have reached safety, but yeah, you had like 10 glaives. 10 glaives should take commander pretty easily. Just spread out here, run up the ramp. If he jumps down, follow him, and you probably get him before he gets away. So yeah. Any more to say? Yeah, I think that's about it. You could be, what could you do to build faster in your expansion phase maybe? And yeah, on this map you want to build mostly as glaives. And when do you want to switch to something slower? Ronins get countered by Firebirds, so if you go for air you will counter like you will counter Ronins, you will counter warriors pretty much, and knights alone are bad against glaives. If you can just overrun them with a lot of numbers. I mean, for cost they do pretty well against glaives, but yeah, if you have one knight, if you have one knight and the enemy runs up to you with 10 glaives, they're gonna kill it easily. So yeah, going for the slower composition on this map, since it's such an open map and it's a long distance between the starting bases because of the diagonal. Yeah, you want to build mostly glaives and then maybe a switch into air. And then maybe after you switch there, you can consider like slower unit combos, depending on the situation. Those are my tips for you. Good luck and have fun.